What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the JuiceBox presented by Lock City. It's Wighty again here today. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Tuesday. Today we have episode number 14, which is going to be an outlook into the playoffs for ESL Pro League Season 21, which kicks off this Thursday, March 13th in Stockholm, Sweden. But of course, before we get into it, another reminder that we are running our 70% off sale still for your first 3 months of Lock City. That is applicable to both your monthly and weekly packages. Use code SPRINGFEVER to gain instant access for this incredible 70% off price. That brings your weekly subscription down to $3 or your monthly subscription down to $9. And of course, for all of the odds discussed in today's video, you're going to want to head over to thunderpick.io for the best esports odds in the industry. You can use our promo link by heading over to tinyurl.com/lcthunder to get a 100% deposit bonus on your first Thunderpick deposit up to $600. They accept most major cryptocurrencies. They also have a solution for cards now, so you can deposit with a Visa debit card, a credit card, or Apple Pay. And you heard that right. They're going to match your first deposit up to $600 when you sign up using our promo link. That is tinyurl.com/lcthunder. So for today, we are going to be looking ahead to Thursday. Well, all of the playoff games. So playoff games are going to be, there's two quarterfinal matchups on Thursday, March 13th. The other two quarterfinal matchups are going to be Friday, March 14th. We are going to see both semifinal matchups on Saturday, the 15th. And then on Sunday, the 16th, we are going to have a best of 5 grand final. So the way that the playoffs are set up, it is a single elimination style bracket. Quarterfinals and semifinals are best of 3, and like I just said, the grand final is going to be a best of 5. So seedings, the way that the seedings ended up working out for this tournament, Vitality ended up taking the 1 seed overall, so they are going to be matched up with Liquid in the first round in their quarterfinal matchup. Spirit took the number 2 seed overall. They are matched up on the opposite side of the bracket at the bottom against Eternal Fire. The 3 seed was NaVi, so they are going to be matched up against the MongolZ. And the 4 seed was MOUZ, who's going to be matched up against G2. So at the top of the bracket, we have Vitality and Liquid. The winner of Vitality and Liquid will play the winner of NaVi and MongolZ. And then at the bottom of the bracket, we have MOUZ and G2, and the winner of MOUZ and G2 will play the winner of Eternal Fire and Spirit, apparently. This is different than what it was a couple of moments ago. It had somebody else as I think MOUZ as the 7th seed. So upon refresh, this bracket's actually changed here. If we go to Liquipedia, let's see what they say over there. They don't have it populated yet, so we're going to go with what's on HTL TV. I'm pretty confident in that. The fact that it just shifted doesn't make me super at ease, but we're going to run with what we have here. So the first matchup now is going to be our Thursday quarterfinal matchup between Eternal Fire and Spirit. This is going to be an absolute banger of a matchup. These two teams have played each other recently. They've played once in, I believe, September. That would have been at BetBoom Dhaka. And then they played at the end of January at Blast Bounty. At Blast Bounty, Spirit ended up winning 3-1 in the grand final. Eternal Fire took Anubis, I believe, at halftime of that match. Yeah, 9-3 it was for Spirit. At halftime, Eternal Fire ended up tying it up to go into overtime, and Eternal Fire won 16-14 in overtime. But then Spirit took care of business on the next 3. They won 13-6, 13-3, and 13-8 on Nuke, Dust 2, and Mirage, respectively. I obviously like Spirit to end up taking this. I think Eternal Fire is going to put up a fight. We could definitely see this one go 3 maps. You're not getting a ton of value, obviously, on Spirit. They're the number 1 ranked team in the world. The books know that they barely ever lose maps, let alone matches. So the books are going to be backing them heavy here. We're only seeing 1.25 on the money line, so minus 400. Public consensus is actually very heavy toward Eternal Fire. I'm going to be taking Spirit here, of course. I'm going to be riding that till it breaks. There might be a little bit of value on Eternal Fire plus 1.5, but Spirit's been making me money for over a year now, going back to Katowice of last year and even prior to that. So I'm going to continue riding Spirit. I'm going to put this as a parlay piece here. I think Spirit takes care of business. They're not going out in a quarterfinal matchup against Eternal Fire. The next one on Thursday is going to be at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so 7:30 p.m. Swedish time, or Stockholm time. I'm not sure what that time zone is. This is going to be MOUZ and G2. So this will be another pretty interesting one. I didn't like what I saw out of G2 recently. MOUZ, I'm not overly confident in either. G2, they ended up winning today to get in. They didn't look great. MOUZ 2-0'd Liquid. They lost to Vitality. They 2-0'd Falcons, and they 2-1'd Furia. I do feel better about MOUZ here than I feel about G2. Public consensus, again, is heavy toward G2. So I am not in line with what the public is allegedly thinking here, but I do think that they end up taking care of business here. If we're looking at the odds, we have MOUZ 1.65 on the money line, so about minus 180. I do think MOUZ gets this done. I'm confident adding that as a second parlay piece on Thursday there. So that's Spirit money line and MOUZ money line. That gets you 2.01x for both of those picks together if you parlay them together. So that's plus 101 in American odds. I think that's pretty comfortable. As the day progresses, obviously, in the premium tier and in the Wighty channel, I'll be firing off various lines, anything from overs on maps to first half winners to first half full match split winners to combinations between over-unders and map winners, all sorts of things coming in the Wighty channel there. But as a baseline, what I like for your parlay here is going to be Spirit moneyline and MOUZ moneyline. That gets you 2.01x. I do think for those that want to get fancy, if you want to look at Eternal Fire plus 1.5, that's 1.85. They could get it done, but like the odds are saying here, I think that one's kind of a coin flip. I'd feel more comfortable with Spirit moneyline and MOUZ moneyline. I don't think either of those teams lose here on Thursday. Looking at the Friday matchups, we have the early one is Vitality Liquid, 10:45 Eastern or 4:45 Stockholm time, and the late one is NaVi and MongolZ. So for Vitality and Liquid, I think Vitality takes this. I think that's who Spirit's going to end up seeing in the final here. 74% of the public thinks Vitality. Vitality has the lowest moneyline odds of the day at 1.17x, or about minus 550. Vitality obviously gets this done. Like we said today for the look ahead for the other podcast episode there, when we were looking ahead to the Blast Lisbon Open, Vitality has a 100% win rate across 4 maps. They also have a 75% win rate against top teams in the world on Mirage. Vitality has looked great. They ended up beating Spirit in the best of 5 for the grand final at IEM Katowice 3-0. So I mean, they've looked strong. The addition of Rops has been wonderful for them. I think they take care of business here against Liquid. I think that's another safe parlay piece, 1.17, so your odds there are not spectacular by any stretch. Taking them to win 2-0, I don't think is out of the question either. I would feel comfortable with that. I think we're going to see two pretty close maps, but I do think Vitality edges them out 2-0. I think we're going to go ahead and flip that just because the value's not there on the money line. We're going to take Vitality to win 2 maps to 0 at 1.72x, or about minus 150 if I had to guess. The last one that we're going to be looking at for the quarterfinals is NaVi and MongolZ. So NaVi and MongolZ, I think this will probably be the most competitive of the matchups. Maybe MOUZ and G2 will surprise us and we'll get a lot of good competition out of that one. But I think NaVi and MongolZ will be relatively close. The last time these two teams played was not close. That was at IEM Katowice. We saw NaVi win 13-3. They won Mirage 13-3 and then Ancient 13-9. But they sweeped MongolZ 2-0 there. The time that they played before that was going back over a year ago to March of 2024. So we're not going to comp that. That was at Copenhagen, and NaVi won that as well. But it's too far in the past as a reasonable comp there. So we'll use the one from a month ago at IEM Katowice. The maps that I think MongolZ could win are going to be Dust 2, and the list is going to end there at just Dust 2. That's the only map in this pool that I think they could even push NaVi potentially to overtime on or end up securing a win on. I think NaVi wins Inferno. I think NaVi wins Mirage. They win Nuke. They win Ancient. We haven't seen a lot of train out of either of these two teams or Anubis ever. Those are usually the two insta-bans, respectively. So I think that NaVi takes this one 2-0, but because we already have Vitality 2-0, I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to take NaVi on the money line there. So that's going to be 2.49 times your money, or plus 149. So two nice double ups here for Thursday and Friday. You can take Spirit and MOUZ on the money line together on Thursday, and on Friday we're going to go Vitality to win 2-0 and NaVi on the money line. Both of those are going to be doubling up your money. So I like both of those. Looking ahead to what a semifinal matchup might look like, or what the semifinal pool might look like, we are taking Vitality over Liquid. So we're going to have Vitality taking on NaVi, and at the bottom of the bracket we're going to have Spirit taking on MOUZ. I think Spirit beats MOUZ. It could be close. I think it probably goes 3 maps. I think MOUZ probably gives Spirit a hard time on those other 2 maps potentially. Depends how Donk's supporting cast is going to come out. I think if Shiro comes out looking good, I think if Zontix is playing his role well, I think if Magix is winning clutches, then Spirit should beat MOUZ, obviously. Same thing goes with the Eternal Fire matchup. I mean, if nobody around Donk is playing good CS, then we could be in trouble. And that goes for any Spirit match, really. Shiro's usually consistent, but beyond that, it's been relatively hit or miss. I mean, the performances of Donk and Shiro have been enough to carry at times. As long as Chopper's not playing as poorly as some of the other IGLs and plays like his usual self, I think Spirit ends up potentially winning this tournament here, definitely making it to the final. So we took Spirit over Eternal Fire. We're going to take Spirit over MOUZ. And at the top, we have Vitality and NaVi. I'm going to go Vitality here. I think NaVi, obviously a great team. Probably who I would put in the top 3 of the world conversation alongside Vitality and Spirit. But for this one, I have to take Vitality. They've just been playing way too well. I don't see them dropping probably a map to NaVi. I don't think they'll drop a map to Liquid. I think they have a clean slate going into a best of 5 final against Spirit. So Vitality and Spirit in a hypothetical final here. I don't know. I would be inclined to lean Vitality again. I think they could take care of business. Again, comes down to those same question marks about Spirit. How well is that Spirit roster going to play around Donk and going to support Donk? If Donk's not playing well, then they're going to need to pick up the pieces. We haven't seen them do that very well in times past. I think Vitality does a better job of playing all around Team CS in terms of overall ratings, usually bunched a lot closer together than what we see out of the Spirit cast. But Donk, I think he's determined here. I think Katowice pissed him off because the year prior they ended up going through and winning the tournament there, and then ended up getting back to the final this year and got swept. Not only lost to Vitality, but they got swept 3-0 by Vitality. So I think that stings. I think it's revenge season. I think we see Spirit come out on top, but I would not be surprised whatsoever if Vitality won this tournament. They have been looking unstoppable, and I wouldn't be surprised if they overclaimed the top world ranking here with a win at ESL Pro League Season 21. But I'm going to be cheering for Spirit. I'll be rooting for Spirit all of the way through, especially in their first couple of matchups. I think that's obviously going to set the tone for the finals there. If they don't drop a map against Eternal Fire and they don't drop a map against MOUZ, they're going to be pretty hard, close to impossible to beat in a grand final there. So that's who I'm going to be going with. Vitality would be my second pick. NaVi, if I had to pick a third, if NaVi gets past Vitality, they've beaten Spirit before. They could beat Spirit in a grand final as well. But we'll see. My money's on Spirit. So we'll see how this one plays out. Really looking forward to Thursday and Friday's matchups and then the rest of the weekend. Of course, for all of the odds discussed in today's video, you're going to want to head to thunderpick.io, best esports picks in the industry. Use our promo code tinyurl.com/LCThunder for your 100% deposit bonus. They're going to match your first deposit up to $600, except most major cryptocurrencies, and they have a card solution as well. So they take credit card, Visa debit card, and Apple Pay, PayPal too, and they will match your first deposit up to $600 when you sign up using our promo link tinyurl.com/LCThunder. That's it for me today, guys. Really looking forward to these matchups, as you can tell, for this weekend here. Stay tuned to both the Wighty channel and the CS Cheat Sheets channel for those of you that are in the premium tier. For those of you on Twitter, we will drop some free content there on Friday for Free Shoot Friday, and probably a couple of plays of the day throughout the week. Get everyone excited about this tournament here, guys. So we got some really exciting CS coming up over the next couple of months. Definitely stay tuned for future pods, and see y'all on the flip side. Peace.